Morning, everyone. How are we? Now that our technical issues are done, I think we're about ready to, hopefully we're ready to cook. What's going on, guys? Good to see you. If anybody's watching, if you could hit the like button for me, that would be greatly appreciated as I connect to the live chat. Handsome Stone, what's up, buddy? How are you? Yeah, we just had a few technical issues getting the typing didn't want to type for whatever reason. I don't know why I'm having such trouble this morning with the internet just is not being cool. Maybe it's too hot for that today too. GH, what's up, buddy? How are you? There we are. Now I'm getting connected. Yeah, it just wouldn't let me sorry guys, that's everybody's just staring at absolutely nothing. But it wouldn't let me type stuff in. I don't know why. It wouldn't let me put my title or my thumbnail on. But I think we're past that. And but everybody can hear me okay, I guess. Okay, so let's get started with everything. Turn my light on. I got the oven on. Hopefully there's nothing in the oven. Oh, there is. There's always something in the oven. There's always got to be something in there. Let me grab that out. But yeah, we're going to make some meatball subs. One big fat meatball sub that's going to be cheesy, gooey, and delicious. So I can't wait. I grabbed some herbs from the garden, and hopefully my garden is going crazy this year. I hope everybody else is having as much success with their garden as I'm having with mine, because my garden is rocking this year. Super rocking. I've got pumpkin. I went out this morning and I've got pumpkin. The pumpkins are flowering. The watermelon is starting to take off. I've got the lima beans are going. I've got radishes out there that are ready to pick, and I'm super excited. This is what a garden nerd I am. I am super excited about my radishes. I grow watermelon radishes. I don't know if anybody's ever had a watermelon radish, but they're beastly sized, and they're super good. So I really get into those. But it has been a morning. I don't know how much Beegs cam we're going to see today. The Beegs is not feeling all that great today. She is not feeling good. 40 cucumber seeds planted, 4 sprouted. Really? I don't have any kind of cucumbers, Handsome Stone. I don't have any of that stuff out here. I have absolutely none of that stuff. Yeah, I'm sure your dad's proud. I'm sure your dad's proud of that. But if you want to hit the subscribe button, that'd be great too. Hit the like button on your way out. But yeah, I don't have anything like that. I've got watermelons, and the watermelons this year were really, late to sprout. So I've got my pumpkin vines are probably 6 feet long now, and my watermelons are just like maybe 6-7 inches tall at the most. So anyway, but let's get started. We're gonna use my pizza sauce that I've used in a lot of other recipes, and I'm gonna start that from scratch. Last time I did it, I didn't really do it from scratch, but pizza subs are pretty quick, so we'll just jump right over into that and get going. It's gonna be a little let's see. Anyway, so anyway, I've already got the base of it in here. I've got a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce that's canned, and a 6-ounce tomato paste. So I'm gonna break that down in here real quick. Last time I had that, I did the sauce ahead of time, but today I'm not gonna do that. And then I'm gonna throw in, while I got that, I'm gonna throw in my, some 4-ounce can of mushrooms. As always, the stems and pieces. Pennsylvania Dutchman, the best ones to use. Let's see, let me get rid of that can real quick. And that should be about the last of anything like that I need to do. But yeah, the dog is, this has been a rough dog owner weekend, because yesterday she decided that after a half an hour walk in the morning, that she did not like the new rug that was in the that I just got for the living room, and decided to uh, take care of business on that. I always say that 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning for the sauce. So I finished taking care of business on the rug, and then once I broke that out, I decided to go ahead and clean all the carpets. And then when I wasn't paying attention, she decided to eat 2 of my couch pillows, at least tear the string off of them anyway. So she decided to do that. Let me see. Then we got a tablespoon of minced garlic, which I'm just going to use the jarred stuff. And there we go. Let's see here. And a tablespoon of some minced garlic. Let me get a little bowl out here so I can put my spoon into. Spot for the spoon. Might be too big, but it'll work. So then we got our garlic in there. And then we're going to have a little bit of black pepper. I always forget that it's prime time in India. I always forget that you want to do let me see, what do we got? A teaspoon of black pepper. So that's just about a teaspoon of that. And let's see, about 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. So we've got our garlic powder. 1 teaspoon of that. And this is just for the sauce. We'll get that simmering, because the meatballs should be pretty quick. The meatballs take about 20-25 minutes at the most. Let's see, I'm going to do a little bit. I'm also going to throw just a dash of black pepper in there. A little black pepper. I've been on a black pepper kick here recently. What else we got? We got our mushrooms in there. Oh, and we want to add just a little bit of onion powder. So we're going to add, what do I got written down there for that? A half teaspoon of onion powder. Because onion powder can be a little on the strong side. There we go. And what else do we got here? And then a half a cup of water. So let me grab my water. And half cup of the water. Half cup of water. There we go. And that's it. Pizza sauce is done. But yeah, then after after the Beegs decided to chew up once she decided to chew up the pillows, she then decided to take it easy. So then I started making ribs on the grill about dinner time yesterday, and then right as I was about to flip for the first time the ribs, turn them over, she decided she wanted to shoot out the front door and then go visit 3 or 4 of the neighbor houses down the street and not listen while running around like a crazy person for about 20 minutes. So some of my ribs burnt, and now today she's not feeling that great, which doesn't surprise me after she ate 2 pillows and, you know, that kind of stuff, chewed up some other stuff. Yeah, and after I did the carpet, she went in and found some toy that I had taken that I thought was gone, like one of these stuffed animal toys that I tell everybody not to give her. And she must have found that. She must have been hiding it somewhere, because then she tore that up all over the carpet. So I couldn't even get the carpet, because I was waiting for the carpet to dry. I couldn't even sweep it up. So anyhow, enough bitching about the dog. But anyway, so we'll turn our heat. We're just going to throw it onto like 3 in between, right at 3. The oven's starting to catch up here at 400. I've got For the meatballs, I've got the oven hanging out at 400 degrees for the meatballs, and I kind of cheated on the meat for the meatballs by using pizza burger, like prefab from the butcher. My butcher makes really good pizza burgers, and I had some of those, so I just used that. But I am going to dress those up a little bit, because really the only thing that they do with them, other than, you know, put them into pat, they don't really add any spices to them. They just put cheese. They just put mozzarella cheese in them, which is kind of nice. But if you want a true pizza burger, you got to kind of dress it up a little bit. So we're going to dress that up a little bit. So we've got that up here on the front going on. Biggs being Biggs. Yeah, Biggs was like, she was just, you know, it's like my mom always used to say, when you have kids or anybody, not everybody has a good day. It's not a good day for everybody, you know, and yesterday was her day not to have a very good day. So it was just her day. That's all I can say about it. You know, she wasn't being exceptionally bad. She wasn't being exceptionally good. She was having a bad day. I'm gonna throw a little bit of these, before I do that, before I put everything into the sauce, I just want to pull off a little bit. Get some really nice fresh basil, some black basil, purple basil, whatever you want to say. Let's see, a couple of those in there, a couple of these in the sauce, and then a little bit of the real oregano. And I always wonder, like when I'm watching a cooking show or something, why their stuff always looks dry. It just seems like it looks like it just came out of the garden. But I always think that makes it like, have they washed it? Are they actually going to eat that food? Because I'm not sure if they, you know, it just seems like something, I don't know if I would do that or not. So then we've got some German thyme that I got growing out there. Everything's going great. I'm really happy with how the herbs are growing this year. I've had no blight. I've had one round of ladybugs on them, and they seem to be keeping everything well. Sean Nugent, how are you, buddy? Keith Egan, what are we cooking? We're making homemade meatball subs for like lunch today. Good to see you guys. Everybody hit the like button, hit the subscribe if you can, if you'd be so inclined to do. Though we've had a record month of subscribers, we're still trying to hit a certain goal. And then once we hit that first goal, I can shut up about it. So let's throw a couple pieces of the regular basil in there. Regular sweet basil, just a couple, because we've already got the other pieces in there. And some of this I'm going to chop up and put into the burger so we can make the meatballs. Let's see, let's get that going. Go. And the thyme, but I'm really more interested in the oregano. The oregano and the thyme. Basil's great, but to me, oregano and the thyme make the sauce. That actually makes it. But I don't need to go too overboard, because I've already got 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning in there. Right? So there we go. Move this garlic. I don't need the garlic anymore. You got any sweet onion sauce? No, I do not have any sweet onion sauce. For a meatball sub, I'll have to look into that. That doesn't sound bad at all. I'm just gonna do like a pizza sauce that I kind of usually make a lot. I'm just gonna do that. So then we're just gonna bring up bring this up. We're gonna do some garlic powder. Now I'm not gonna, I know a lot of times people like to, they like to do breadcrumbs and egg in the meatballs. I'm not gonna do that. Sometimes I don't find it to be completely necessary to do. A little bit of garlic, let's see, I got the garlic powder. I don't need garlic salt. A little bit of onion powder in here. just a smidge along the sides from when I rolled that around in it. And let me see, a little white pepper, just a little bit of white pepper in there. And then I'm also going to put some Italian seasoning into this. Just a little bit. I'd say that's about a half of it, probably about a half of a teaspoon altogether. And a little bit of salt in there. Let's see, sounds yummy, Keith. Yeah, that's I take mine with pepper, cheese, and sweet onion on mine. That's no kidding. I've never heard of that. That does sound really good though. Just a pinch of salt. Doesn't take much. Because there's salt in the ingredients list that's on there from these. Like I said, these are from the butcher shop, so they don't have much, but they do have a little salt. They have a little, you know, a lot of it's probably the ingredients for the mozzarella that's actually in the burger itself. What's your favorite song with herbs? Steely Dan, reeling it in the years. With her, Steely Dan. When it comes to Steely Dan, I'm kind of a Black Cow guy. Yeah, I like Black Cow. That's my that's my go-to with Steely Dan. My roommate in college turned me on to Steely Dan. He was a big Steely Dan fan. That mushed around in there. Okay. Roll that around in the spices thing in there. And I got about three quarters of a pound of burger because I'm just making enough meatballs for the sub. So trying to think of how big I really want these meatballs. Let me look at my sub bun. Probably with a little bit of shrinkage, I'd say about like this. I'd say that would be enough. Let's see. Gotta get dinner started soon myself. Oh, okay. Bonus what? Steely Dan. Oh, it was named. It was some kind of a book. They got it out of a book, and I just saw that not too long ago. It was I think it was some kind of a sexual device, as I recall. But I can't remember what book it is, and I can't remember what author it was either. I really can't. Let me see, is 4 gonna be? I don't know if 4 is gonna be enough. I might have to break out a little bit more of this burger. Yeah. Yeah, I might have to break out the other bit of the burger for that, because I think I'm gonna need one more. I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna be enough or not. I think I'm gonna need one more. Yeah, I knew I should have left that other one out. Hold on just 1 second. I'll grab that other bit of meat. And we'll just season that. I'll just put seasoning on top of that one. And today I'm going to use, I don't know if you guys can see it up there at the very left-hand part of the screen, but I'm going to be using the Lodge casserole dish for our meatball cooking. And that's going to be all the cast iron I'm going to need today. This is going to be fairly quick. Although I don't know what I did with the rest of that burger. I've been doing this all weekend. That's the other thing I've been doing too. Oh, there it is. I put it in a different dish than I thought. That's the reason. I thought I put it in a glass container, but I put it in a plastic container. But I have to dry my hands before I glove back up. Well, we seem to have quite a few people and nobody hitting the like button, so I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but we need to get that like button hit. For sure. Oh, sorry. Hit the camera. My bad. But yeah, man, my hands it is just muggy. It's just been nothing but muggy this whole week. We had Thursday. We've had, for where I'm at in the Midwest, it has been nothing but hot. I mean, hot to the point where it's just ridiculous for this time of the year. Nobody's been ready for it. Farmers are having a hard time. Sexy cooking. Hello, how are you? Where are you coming in from today? But yeah, it's just been so ungodly hot here. I had the windows open this morning. I got up about about 6 o'clock, and some lamb burgers with onion rings, tomato sauce. Oh, that sounds great. Is that what you're making today? That's really good. But yeah, it's just been so unbelievably hot. You know, we haven't been able. I went from it being like raining to where we couldn't take the dog. I take this little dog out to go walk, and she literally, she wants to keep going, but she can't last more than she's not lasting more than just a few, like 10 15 minutes, and we've had to turn around because she's just tongue out, not even kind of pulling on the leash. She's just kind of like going through the motions. She's not having fun. She's not digging on it. She's just really, you know, I mean, look at my gloves. I can't even get my gloves on because it's so. I just shut the window because it went from 75 at 10 o'clock when I had the windows and doors open. By the time I got out of the shower and all that stuff, it went from 75 and now it's 91, and I got the air on, but it's like 80 degrees in my house with 100% humidity. Good looking meatballs. Thank you so much, Blake Mapping. That's a cool handle. I like that. Blake, that's what she said. Yeah, you know what? That went right by me. That went right over my head. Let me throw some spices on here. Some salt and pepper on there. Some salt and pepper on that top one. And what else? We'll throw some more of these. More of this Italian seasoning on that. But yeah, I've been pretty worried about the dog. She hasn't had a treat. She hasn't eaten any of her treats this morning. Her stomach's upset. She's been getting sick. And I'm hoping that I don't have to end up taking the dog to the vet tomorrow and find out she's got a 4-foot piece of string in there that she decided to eat off the couch cushion off the couch pillows that she'd eaten yesterday. Watching from Ireland. Oh, really? What part of Ireland are you watching from? I'm a huge fan of Ireland. I was watching the Dairy Girls this morning. I don't know if that's been on TV over there for a while, but I was watching Dairy Girls. That's what I was watching this morning when I was messing around, doing my kitchen stuff. A little olive oil in there, and we're just gonna smear that around. Smear that around inside there, and get the meatballs in here. I don't know if you watch Dairy Girls at all. Watching from the Netherlands. Okay, that's very cool. Very cool. You might be the first person that's ever said they were from the Netherlands in the stream. What time is it in the Netherlands? Because I know Ireland's like 5-6 hours ahead of us. So it's like 11 a.m. here. So you're what, 4 or 5 in the afternoon over there. 17:28. Is it 28? Oh, okay. So it's 5:28 there. Did I read that right? I don't have my glasses on, and my monitor's on the wall across the way, so let me see here. And we got a little bit of olive oil in here, and we'll throw the meatballs. I made this one just big. This is ridiculous, but it is what it is. If I have to cut it in half, I'll cut it in half. Just didn't feel like messing with it anymore. That into there, little one. There we go. And we'll add just a little more Italian seasoning to the top. Italian seasoning to the top of these. And our sauce is starting to simmer. Normally I like to do the sauce. Last time we did pizza burgers. When we did pizza burgers, I did the sauce the night ahead of time. 4:29 p.m. there. Okay. So I was somewhat right. First time seeing you. Mary Barnes, thanks for showing up. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, please. Good to see you. Somebody in my time zone. But we'll throw these in there. I know they're not exactly the same. I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is, if I can get my gloves on, because it's starting to sort of cool off in here, my hands are not as, I'm ready to just like break out baby powder for my hands. If you guys have ever done that to get gloves on, I'm really to the point where it's so hot in my kitchen and the rest of the house is not caught up to that. Well, hello there. I just got home from work. Well, there you are. There she is. The Queen of New England, White Mountain Girl. Good to see you. Tom's Food Factory, good morning. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, I think I'm going to make these the same size. That's just too much of a difference. So, there we go. Plus that's gonna drive my OCDs insane for these not to be the same size. How was work, kid? Did you make it? I know you've been busy. When's the last time you had a day off? There at the, what is it, the 1809 Manor? Is that where? At the Manor House, I should say. I don't know what it's called. At the Manor House. There we go. That looks a little more, that looks a little bit more sized right. That was going to drive me nuts for those to not be the right size. But that'll probably take 25 minutes or so, and at 400, and with my cast iron not heated up first, because I hate when you can't do it, but sometimes you just can't do it. Drizzle some olive oil over it. Yeah, I was going to do that. Chloe Moon, good to see you. You need a man that cooks. I think everybody should cook. Everybody should know how to cook, or at least attempt it. That's what I do. I don't know if I know how to cook, but at least I try to cook. I try to cook a little bit. There we go. Just a little bit of olive oil on top. So, looking nice and shiny, and it'll get a nice, that way when you cook awesomely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But let's throw these in there and get these going. And we'll come over here and check on our sauce. I'm gonna wipe that spot. I'm gonna move this stuff out of the way. And we'll get our bread prepped up here in a second. Let me just get this spot wiped off. I started chefing from 16. Oh, okay. Nice. I've cooked as long as I've been out of the house, and I started cooking for myself because I realized once I moved out of the house, my parents' house, and away from my grandmother's and all that stuff, that a lot of people just couldn't cook. That they couldn't, they just didn't seem to get the concept of cooking. And when I went to college, my roommates, I had 5 other roommates in our house, and they were all culinary arts students, and they cooked terribly. Like, they needed to be in cooking school. They couldn't cook at all. They, everything they made was raw. Everything had crazy amounts of salt and crazy amounts of spices. And it was just, let's see, most of them work around here. Yeah, my sister and mom couldn't boil an egg. See, I was lucky. My mom could really cook. My Gram Gram was really a good cook. She was from a long line of ladies that could cook really well. When my mom was growing up, both of both of her grandmothers would have been my great grandmothers. They both lived at my grandparents' house. That's where they spent, their retirement there. And so they, so my mom always had really good cooks, and I mean, being from let's see, my maternal grandmother was, they were from Ireland, and when they first moved here, they were prairie. I mean, they lived on the prairie. They lived in the same place where, whatchamacallit, that show Little House on the Prairie. They lived in that same, they lived like really close to Walnut Grove. It was like in between Walnut Grove and a little, like, it wasn't even a town. It was just a little place between like spotty like farming communities between Walnut Grove and Mankato. I believe that's Minnesota, yeah. So, you love the books, the Little House on the Prairie books. I never read the books. I grew up on the show. Yeah, and hunger. I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, I didn't have, when I was in college and just getting started, I didn't have money to go out and eat. That's one of the reasons I worked in restaurants when I was like right out of high school, because I could eat for free. So, yeah, I never read the books, White Mountain Girl, but I always, but I watched the show. We watched the show religiously when I was a kid. Let me break out the bread. We'll get the bread going. And we'll do that while we're doing that. Let me set my timer so I don't forget my meatballs cooking in there. So I'm gonna let them roll on 15. When you're using cast iron, I know for a lot of people out there, they're cast iron enthusiasts, but my gran made a great shepherd's pie. My mom made a great shepherd's pie. And my shepherd's pie is not too shabby either. I don't know if I've done shepherd's pie on here. I might not have done that around, I might not have done that at St. Patrick's Day. I can't remember. I forgot what I was talking about. I forgot what I was saying. Let's see. They're all on audio. I just recently listened to them all. Yeah, I'm an audiobook person too. I do, I do like to, because there's stuff that I know, because I don't have a lot of time to read, but I have a lot of time to listen to stuff. So, I keep it sometimes when I'm working in the garage and stuff. I just kind of keep them in the background, and they seem to, I seem to do okay with that. So let's move this back just a smidge. I hate to rock you guys around, but we're a one camera outfit here, so. Let's see, people seem to use beef, but that's cottage pie. Yeah, there's a difference. Yeah, and that's why I was wondering if I made it at St. Patrick's Day, because I was doing, I think, if you've watched the channel, and some of the other videos, I think I've seen you in here a couple of times. I do cook a lot with lamb. I do enjoy lamb a lot. So let me cut the ends off of this. I don't need those. Don't need the ends. And we're going to cut this down the side. I should have cut this down the top. I could have done it Subway style and just taken the top out and pulled that and done it that way. That might have made more sense, but I don't think that's what I'm going to do. Because I want to open it up, but I don't want it to be, I don't want to split it in half. Yeah, maybe I should have done it that way. But let's get, and the other thing I forgot, which I usually have on the stove, is, I don't think I need it. Don't think I need it. But I do need my sub oil. I do want to put the Italian oil on the inside. And let's just hope that it's in here. It is right there. The sub oil in here. Let's see, you sure know how to handle Ember Claw 28. You sure do not. Thank you. Thank you. But I'm sure you're way better at it than I am. But you know who's really good at it? Your dad. Your dad's the best. Legendary. Beyond legendary. He is amazing at it. I think I looked in a book one time and he was in there. There was a picture of your dad in there handling logs. He was great. If it was a pro sport, I would probably, there's a lot of people, if log carrying was a pro sport, there's probably people that would have his jersey and his rookie card. He was that good. Your dad was that great at log handling. He was fantastic. Let me see here. Let me stir let's come over and check out the sauce here real quick. Come over and see how that's doing. Oh, there we go. Cook that down. Get some of those. I might be more inclined to put some more of these. I might do this without the lid on. Actually, I think I'm gonna let it cook down because we're doing it in such a short amount of time that I think I'm just gonna let this. I think I'm just gonna let this hang. And kind of cook down without a lid on it. The lid was sort of not necessary. I think it would have been if I would have done that. Scotty's backyard. What's up, Scotty? Good to see you. You're another guy that's been pretty busy. Wonder how your channel's coming along. How's your channel coming, bud? Let's see. You guys see that okay? There you go. Scotty. Koopachu. What's going on? What's going on, kid? Good to see you. Got a lot of folks from New England in here this morning. New Hampshire especially. Oh, there's some New Hampshire folks running around. I've always wondered, like, cause I've never been to New England. I bet it takes like no time to get from like one, cause it takes like, I live in Ohio, and it takes me like, to get from one end to the other, is like 4.5 hours. But I always wondered, like, if you lived in New Hampshire or Connecticut, like if it took you like an hour to get from one side to the next. Is that true? A little more Italian herb and garlic to the sauce. I don't know if I want to go. I think I'm going to be really garlicky now, to be honest. So I'm going to kind of, because I just put, there's garlic in the oil, there's garlic all over the meatballs, and I'm probably going to, but I think I am going to throw a little bit more of the herbs into this than what I got already. So, yeah. But yeah, I always wondered, like, if you lived in, like, Connecticut, does it take, how long is it? I could imagine I could just Google it real quick, but at some point, if I was really that. But I just thought that would be really odd to be able to go. And then like here, if I go from Ohio to Michigan, or I go from Ohio to Indiana or Kentucky or something like that, which is, I don't get to Pennsylvania very much because I'm not on that side of the state. But, you know, it's weird to me, like I'll go to Indiana, and you can buy hard liquor. You could buy like a bottle of Jack Daniels or Jim Beam at a Walmart. But when you're in Ohio, you have to go to a liquor store. And then in Pennsylvania, you have to go to a liquor store to buy any of that. At least last time I was in Pennsylvania, you did. Which has been a while since I've actually been in Pennsylvania. But, yeah, I mean, I've just never, it's kind of, that would be weird to live in a place where all the states are so small, because you just go from like one place to the next, and then everything's like totally different. And I do want to throw, while I'm thinking about it, I do want to throw just a little bit of this mozzarella to thicken my sauce up. Sometimes I'll do Parmesan, you know, the powdered stuff, like the green can. That'll thicken your sauce up too, but I just wanted to throw a little bit of that in there. Not much, just some. Just to thicken that up. You won't even know it's there. Let's see. I have a cigarette liquor store like 5-minute walk from me. And are you to the other side of New Hampshire by the time you get there? I'm sorry, I missed the top ones that you guys kind of rolled by. Yeah, probably enough garlic. Let me see. Some places take longer than others, of course, but I'm about 15 minutes from certain place. But others are right here where I live. New Hampshire isn't far from us, like 30 minutes ish. Okay. So, yeah, I just think that would be really weird. And then, like, when I go to Texas, which Texas is enormous, like, the first time I drove through Texas, I thought that I was going to be able to be like, got to Dallas, and I thought Houston would be like right around the corner, you know. But then it was like 6 hours, a 6.5 hour drive. Like that would get me to Illinois. Like there's certain parts, like I can drive to Illinois, like say to Chicago from where I live, I can get to Chicago in 3 hours. But Cleveland takes me like 4 hours to get to. Okay, that's looking pretty. That's actually smelling. That's really good. If you guys want, if you don't have a recipe, if you don't have a recipe for pizza sauce, this is a really good one. I've been nothing but happy with this. That's come along like it's done really well. And for some reason, I couldn't find my card for my pizza sauce this morning. And so I actually had to go and rewatch my video from when I made pizza burgers. I had to, so I couldn't, I actually could not make, because I couldn't remember out of memory how to make it. But so I had to watch my own video this morning to learn how to make my sauce and then rewrite it. But then I found the sauce recipe. Like right after I wrote it down and wrote that, it was in the dessert section of my, somehow or another it got into my dessert section of my recipe box. All right, and just like on Goodfellas, you gotta stir the sauce. You gotta always be stirring the sauce. Always stir the sauce. Remember that one part where the helicopters were flying around and they were being stalked by the FBI? And they had the guy's younger brother who, through all that, just had to stand there and stir the sauce. So it always reminds me of that. I need something to drink. Let's see. But I think I am going to put the lid back on that because that's starting to get kind of, it's starting to bubble out and pop onto everything else, starting to make a mess. I'll probably be done with the stream here in a little bit, and I'll probably go look in the mirror, and I'll probably have like a little polka dotted from having all kinds of little spots on there. Yeah, on Goodfellas. Yeah, 100%. Did I not say the name of it? I was just like talking. Oh, see, like that. Yeah, we are gonna put the lid back on. But I think I like that temperature, like just a little under 3 on my stove. Let me grab my spoon rest. I need to get I need to get a really cool spoon rest. This one's kind of played out. Let's see, there we go. Put that and let that sit and rock there for a minute. So we're kind of at a little bit of a standstill. I'm gonna grab something to slide this back over this way, because I'm gonna put some oil on top of this bread as well here in just a second, but I'm gonna grab something to drink. And all that, because it's still roasting in here. And as soon as I turn the fan on, or I turn the vent on above the stove, that's when it seems like everybody freaks out and they can't hear what I'm saying in the background. So I'll leave that off for just a little bit. But man, it smells good in here. I mean, it smells like a sub shop. It smells so good. Just had to get a little something down the gullet. Tiki time. Yeah, I wish it was tiki time. It was tiki time. It was actually tiki time last night. Tiki time was, I did pina coladas last night. Pina coladas were, yeah, it was pina coladas last night, man. They were rocking. I had different kind of rum. I had a dark rum yesterday, and So we made pina coladas for like toward the end of the night. Are you going to toast the bread? Yes, Keith Egan, I am going to toast the bread at 400 for about 5 minutes. Once I flip over the meatballs, which should be here in about 4 minutes, then they should only have 10 minutes. And then I'm going to toast the bread for the last 5. And I'm just going to I'm getting ready to put a little bit of the oil on here right now. And I'm going to move the cutting board out of the way, and I'm going to get it onto the serving board, and like that, because I don't need the cutting board anymore. And then I'm going to put a little more olive oil on. I'm going to put a little bit more oil on there. That's one of the reasons I didn't want to go too crazy with the with any more garlic on there. Ooh, before I stab myself in the foot. Let's see. Drop that off. End up like a Pink Panther movie. Have a knife sticking right on top of my foot. Let's see. Put that on the serving tray. Move this out of the way. And be done with that. And wipe up this spot here. That spot up there. I don't know why that's... What the heck was sitting there that was wet, but something. Something was. Not sure what, but it was. So there we go. I like to put a cube of cheese inside the meatballs. These have the meat had cut up mozzarella into the meat already. But that is a good idea. Yeah, that's something I would do if I didn't already have that in there. Let's see if we can center that up just a little bit. We'll have those little crusties on there too. Let's see. Put some olive oil on those. On this. So we'll have those for. There we go. Just a little bit of oil down the center of the top. Just a little bit, not much, because I don't want to soak. I don't want this bread to be wet. You know what I mean? I don't want to make the bread wet or too moist, and then it doesn't. And then it doesn't go right. But this is an olive oil based sandwich sub oil, and it smells really good. It's got a lot of herbs. It's got a lot of oregano. It's got garlic in it. It's got thyme and basil. It's got a lot of stuff in there. There's parsley in that. So it's pretty rocking on its own. Let me get out I can get the sheet pan out here in a minute. I'll just get the sheet pan out when it goes in there. But yeah, so we've got that ready to go. I'm not gonna put a whole heck of a lot on. Let's see. I am gonna put just a smidge. I'm gonna put a little bit of the cheese inside of there as well. Can you guys see that okay? My big goofy arms in the way. The old meat hooks. Can you guys see that all right? Just put some of the cheese in there toward the back and sort of give it a little something like a little wall to keep the bread from splitting open so bad, so you can kind of eat it like that. This thing's a monster. I mean, I don't know if you can tell how insanely huge this sandwich is, but it's gonna be huge. It's a huge sandwich. Let's see. There we go. But we got most of the mozzarella packed toward the back. We want that to be. There we go. Just like that. Because we're also, once I'm done with that, we're going to, okay, so that means that needs to be flipped. Those should need to be flipped over. Wipe my hands off here. You guys see that? Yeah, you guys are lined up. I'm always bumping into this. I'm always bumping my camera stand, so I'm afraid you guys are, and I've got my back to this. I got my back down to it, and I'm always afraid that I'm knocking you guys out of the shot. Let's see here. Let me move this back out the way. Move the sauce off to the side, and this back exhaust burner's pretty hot anyway because it's the exhaust burner, so it's pumping out at 400 degrees, so it should be fine. So let me get this over here, and we'll pull these meatballs out and flip them around a little bit. There you go. You can see what's left of the dog's dragon there on the floor, right in front of this. Okay. Right in front of the Beegs' dragon that she loves it. So there's the meatballs so far. I'm going to do an internal temperature on these. I want them to be right about where, when I pull them off, I want to be right around. I don't want them to be all the way cooked, and I don't think these will be. Let's see, 140 on the edges. But if you can see, can you guys see that okay? I'll bring you over here just a little bit. We were talking about the cheese in there. You can see the cheese is starting to pop out of that. Yeah. We're right around 140. We're between 140 and 150 on these. So I'm just gonna, I don't have the egg and the breadcrumbs in it, so I don't want to mess with them too much. I don't want them to get overworked. I'm just gonna unstick them. There we go. And kind of roll them onto their side a little bit. If I can flip them over like that, because they're not. If you use the egg and the breadcrumbs to, how do I say it? To get them to stay a little firmer, you want them to be firmed up. And that holds them together. But me not putting the breadcrumbs or the egg in there, it makes them to where they're not as easy to work with. But these are seeming to be not too bad. Cheese is probably helping some. There we go. We'll let those sit. I got another. I am going to drop, if I don't drop everything else, I am going to put a little bit more Italian seasoning on top of that. Not much, just a smidge. Just a little dust. Mostly for looks, more than anything. The flavor's there. They smell great. I mean, it just smells super, super good. So we got those on there. Love those specials. Me too. That one of my daughters got, my middle daughter, who is the best gift giver ever, got me those, and I use them all the time. She's also the same one that got me the Wagner long griddle reissue that I rave about all the time. So, but yeah, if we can have everybody hit that like button for me real quick, that'd be fantastic. We got about 72 people that are into the chat right now, and only about 14 or 15 likes, so let's see what we can do about that. Can you make me some bread? I could make you some bread. I could make you some bread. I'm actually making my first sourdough bread later this afternoon. Yeah, there's bread right here. Maybe you need to wipe your camera off, bub. Thank you very much. Yeah, but yeah, so we're gonna throw that in there, and then I'm gonna put this onto a bread sheet or a cookie sheet, and I'm gonna throw that in there for like 5 minutes. That's all that's gonna need, and then we're gonna be ready to kind of dole this up. And actually, I think what I'm gonna do is I gotta yeah, definitely gonna do something. I almost forgot something. Do you in New Hampshire? I don't know. Yeah, we're missing a couple. You're missing a couple words in there. Let's see here. Let's get this back over here onto the back. Because I'm going to let that finish. It doesn't need to cook anymore like that. The meatballs do not need to be in that anymore. So let's not make the mistake of leaving those in there. Let's see. First stream I've seen actually has bread when I ask. Yeah, there's bread right there. You can't beat that. That's as good as it gets. It's not full service, but it's pretty close. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. Let me see here. There we go. Put those back over. Let me just bring that back over here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and toss those into the sauce. There's just no reason for these to be sitting in there anymore. Because they were so close. They're 150, 155. We can just add these to the sauce, and then we'll just throw that all onto the sub at one time. There we go. And then I'll just stick that bread in. We'll let these kind of marinate in there for a minute. Because there's just no reason. We're gonna overcook. They'll get overcooked if I leave them in there, and this way it'll give them a chance to kind of do some good in there. Can you guys see that okay? Can you guys see that okay? I'll move that to the front here in a second, but these are some humongous meatballs. I'm gonna be, this is like I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be all over the sandwich or not. Even though I haven't, I'm primed and ready for a good smash, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to smash all that. That's a lot, man. That's like a pound. That's like an eating challenge. Here we go. Cheat master. Do you know who can't make meatballs? I don't know. Who can't make meatballs? Let's see. And we got our cookie sheet out here. You said humongous meat. Who can't? No, I don't think I said humongous meat. I said who can't eat meatballs. So we got this. Put these onto here. Throw that onto the cookie sheet. Yeah, I want the smaller one. I want a smaller one. So I want a meatball sandwich. You just have to come. You have to just show up and get it. I'm not going to be able to eat all this one. That's for sure. Let's see. Put that onto here with our ends. Onto there. You guys see that okay? Ah, there we go. Which isn't going to matter because I'm going to throw that in the oven here in a minute. So 400, I'm going to knock that down to 350. That down to 350 so it doesn't go crazy. And then timer for 5 minutes. And then we're going to be just about done. We'll bring the meatballs back up here so I can stir them up. I might have to get some more cheese out. Which I can't believe I'm going to have to get more cheese, but I might have to get more cheese. So, there we go. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to get more cheese in that bowl because that's just not going to go over the top like I want it to. There we go. There we go. Taste that sauce. That's good. Put it in the freeze and we'll do for a snack later. Yeah, it's going to be, it's definitely going to be, there's more than one meal here for sure. I mean, the bread alone is going to be, it's a loaf of bread. You know what I mean? Like the last thing I really need to do is sit here and eat an entire loaf of bread. That's not, I don't need for that to happen. Let's see, got about 4 minutes so that, and then let me grab some more cheese out here. Just pull that, I'll just leave it there. Hell, it's not hurting anything. The sauce is really, really good. Let me just grab a little bit more cheese. Put it in the bowl, because I'm not sure. I can always put more of the cheese away, but for right now, there we go. Put that cheese into there. Turn that. I think we can turn that down to simmer at this point. I think we're good to go. I would put, you know, Greg, this is one thing about this sauce, and I say that it's pizza sauce, but it's a pretty good all-around sauce. I've used it for spaghetti. I've used it for, you know, these subs. I've used it for the pizza burgers. I use this for everything. We use it for, like pizza, like, you know, when we order pizza. I've used the leftover of this sauce to, I'll put it in a jar, put it in the refrigerator, and then I've used that to dip pizza in. We use it for all kinds of stuff. So it's kind of an all-around, just a pasta sauce, which I kind of think that's a lot of, you know, that's, I mean, I understand, like, Italian sauces, there's a lot of different Italian sauces, but I think when you get down to, you know, like one of my very first videos, I did the cherry tomato pasta sauce video, and that's just called weekday sauce, Italian weekday sauce. And weekday sauce you can use with anything, and I mean anything. You can use that to do, you know, you put it on pasta, you put it on sandwiches, you could put it over like chicken parm. You could do anything with that. The same with this sauce here. It's got a good, it's thicker. It's a thick sauce. It's not overly, it's not sweet or spicy. You know, it's got a good, like, herb spice to it, like spices like that, but it doesn't have any red peppers in it. You can add, and the other thing is too, is if you want them like that, you can always add it. You can, you know, it's a basic sauce. You can do a lot of stuff with it if you wanted to. Let me just get rid of this sub oil for a second. I don't need that anymore. But yeah. So we've got about what? A minute? We've got about a minute. Yeah, the sauce is super versatile. I mean, it's a really easy, and it's so easy. I mean, you just saw me. We've been doing this for an hour, and the sauce is done. The subs are done. I mean, it's been a fairly easy. It's been really easy to do. The sauce, and it was like two main ingredients that I got from the store. Other than the, you know, most of the herb, I could have got away with just the herbs from my garden. If I would have had more dried out, I would have just used, you know, my Italian seasoning from the garden, and I wouldn't have had to go do anything. Let's see. What sauce is it? It's just it's a pizza sauce. It had, you know, it's a real basic pizza sauce. And if you go back to the beginning of the video, let me see. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. I've tried to do this before, but that's the sauce itself. My sauce recipe, easy homemade pizza sauce. If you can see it, I don't know. There we go. It's hard to hold it out here. There we go. There's that. But that's it's a super easy sauce. Super, super easy. So let's see how the bread's doing. I'm gonna give the bread just another minute. Just one more minute, and then we'll pull the bread out. Oh, that's not minute. That's temperature. So yeah. But yeah, that's just something, I mean, I kind of just I wrote it down. A long time ago, I learned to start writing stuff down as I did it. Like yesterday, I made barbecue sauce. I made a mustard molasses barbecue sauce, and I wrote it down as I did it. So if it actually came out, then I knew what I did. And that's what I did with that sauce. I didn't really look up a sauce recipe. I just did it with what I had in the kitchen, and then went from there. Other than the base of it, which is 15 ounces of tomato sauce and 6 ounces of tomato paste, because that's just like the root of any sauce. You know, any real pasta sauce, a lot of times that's the base of it to begin with. It doesn't matter what kind of other sauces, you know, if you're making this or that, you know, it just seems to be that's the base of any, like, pizza sauce, spaghetti sauce. It just seems like that's what, if you were going to make a standard American tomato sauce, that would be the base of it. 15-ounce can of sauce, and then 6 ounces of paste, and you come up with a pretty good consistency. So there we go. Let's get over to the back over to here to the plate. Well, this for the plating area for now, because I'm gonna throw this back under the broiler. Once I load this in here, I'm gonna do it how I did the cheesesteak. I'm going to throw this on there, and then I'm going to throw it under the broiler for like a minute. Yeah, no problem, Hud Chef. Yeah. If you, I don't know if I've seen you in here before, but if you like what you're seeing, please come back. Hit the subscribe button, the notifications, and all that. You know, all the YouTube stuff they tell you to tell people to do. Because we are trying to get to a. Oh, hey Zoe, what's going on? How are you? But yeah, we're trying to get to. I'm trying to get to a certain point with my subscribers, so I can. So I can put my product links up there for my kitchen products and all that kind of stuff. So here's our buns. There's that. Put that onto the plate. Now, I'm not done with that. I'm not done with it yet. But we're gonna load this thing up. I like to, let's see. I like to saute onions and mushroom before I make the spaghetti sauce. Yeah, that's not a bad way to do it either. That is not bad at all. So we'll get that in there. So you can see the cheese isn't completely melted, and we don't want it to be overdone, but there's just a little bit in there. This is going to be super, super cheesy. So then we are going to take, where is my spoon? There it is. In the spoon place. What's the website? I sell everything on eBay. I don't have a website. eBay is so easy and so, like for cast iron cure, my cast iron seasoning right there, that is. And that's in one of the divisions of my wax, the wax company that I have. I do a lot of men's products like beard products, beard balm, beard oil, those type things. So there's our sauce. Put that down in there. That monstrosity. There we go. Move that down into there, into there. Yeah, we might have been all right with just the main meatballs. I might not have had to make that other one, but what the hell, you know. For a little bit of that sauce toward the back. Let's see here. I don't know if I'm gonna, man, I should have left it on that thing. Because I don't know if I can throw that back. I can't get that back into the oven. Let's let it sit. I wanted to be able to put it back under the broiler, and I took it off that off the big sheet. I kind of screwed the pooch on that, guys. My bad. So that's a lot of sauce on there. A lot of sauce. I might have screwed the pooch there. But anyway, top it off with some more. Get a little bit of the Italian seasoning on here. Yeah, that was the bad move. I should have done it all in one. Are you selling that 1920s cast iron? Which cast iron did you see, brother? There's a lot of in this kitchen, there's a lot of 1920s cast iron. There's probably 200 pieces of cast iron just in the kitchen part alone. At least 150. So there we go with that. Turn our heat off. Take that off the heat. We don't need that anymore. There we go. That is some sauce, boy. That's a lot. That's a lot of sauce. I don't know how I'm gonna eat this thing. This thing that you made a video of. Yeah, I've made a lot of videos. I've made a lot of videos about cast iron. I'm not sure, bro. Let me see. Are you selling? Everything's for sale. I mean, everything's always got a price, right? Oh, and I was gonna put the Italian herbs on there, because that's gotta be a must-have. Throw a few things on there. Do some fresh herb on this. That's what I brought them in for. There we go. No lettuce or anything like that. We just got herbs. some of that. Let's see, where's my oregano? There's the oregano that I left. Oregano. It's left on there. I might have to cut this down into like meatball size pieces. This is this has become, yeah, this is like, this thing should have its own area code. Let's see, we'll throw that on there. Throw that right there. I'd serve that to somebody's mom. There we go. How we looking? Let's see, John tries to cook. That sub is a good looking snack. Thank you so much. Looks like it's good. Yeah, Zoe, we're hoping so. We're gonna hit into this right now. I'm going to try and put that back up there because this is a monstrosity. I'm gonna have to just eat like one meatball at a time. This isn't gonna be. There we go. Bread came out really well. I'm happy with that. Look at that cheese pull on there. Jeez, Pete. This is like food challenge. This is what this has turned into be. This has turned into be a food challenge. But I don't know if you guys see that? That is just, I mean, that's just crazy. There's something wrong. There's something wrong with me eating food like this. This is like something nobody should ever eat something like this. This is horrifying. I do want to get a mushroom in there though. A nice big fat mushroom. All right, wish me luck. Man versus food, I'm telling you. Where do you even bite? I know, that's what I'm saying, man. It's like I gotta smash it and like, it's like a loaf of bread. It's like a meat. It's like a pound of meat on a loaf of bread with like 3/4 of a pound of cheese and a can of mushroom. The bread's nice. Bread's like, it's not toasted, but it's got a nice little crisp in it, but the inside's still nice and chewy. It's like really nice, and I mean, the bread came out really good. The cheese and the oil in there really helped out. Can you guys? Oh man, that is. I'm sorry, I kind of had you guys out of the shot. My bad. Oh wait, no, I was in the shot. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. There we go. I always forget that there's like a 10-second delay on, a 5-second delay on the video. Let's try that again. Man. That sub definitely ain't for everybody, just the sexy people. That thing is delicious. Delicious. It only took, where are we at? I should turn I don't need the heat on anymore. Took 1 hour and 15 minutes to do that. That's not bad. Oh man. Like one part of that, this is going to be enough for me for lunch. That big meatball, that meatball had to be like 1/3 of a pound. It's 1/3 of a pound of meatball. Two huge pieces of bread, all that sauce, all the cheese, all the herbs. I mean, I don't know how much the herbs would weigh on their own if they weren't dehydrated already, a lot of them. Man. That's fantastic. That's like deli style. That's just something you'd get in a really, really good deli. I just gotta wipe my face. My beard's probably, I probably look like those videos where you see like a cheetah that's been eating a gazelle. That's probably what my face looks like. where it just sort of looks up from the side of the gazelle that it's snacking on. It's time for a nap after that. I'm telling you what. It's one of the reasons I had a Celsius right before I came on, because I knew if after I eat this big sandwich I was going to be tired. Pat Z, what's up? Good to see you. But yeah, that ain't bad. Not bad at all. And I mean, I'm not a huge meatball sub guy. It's not my, like, if I go to a deli, I just get, you know, I usually don't get a meatball sub, but it's I'd get this. Wow. I should have had people over for this, because I'm gonna be eating meatball sub for about the this is gonna go through today for sure. Wow. And that meatball came out really well. And if you had enough, but yeah, the bread's nice. Dip up some of this sauce. But I see this being like 1 meal, 2 meal, 3 meals. I don't think it's going to be. I don't know how those food challenge guys do that. I mean, I can sit and smash like a medium to a large size pizza if I'm really, really hungry. But I don't know how these guys do all that with the bread. And like, I watched a guy on a food challenge eat like, it had to have been like 15 pounds, like 10 pounds of pancakes. I mean, how do you eat 10 pounds of pancakes? That's nuts. There's not even any comments right now. Everybody's just like, oh my God, this guy, I can't believe this idiot's eating this. Anyway, I don't think we're gonna get much Beaks Cam today. I don't think she is anyone getting in a situation schooling a cast iron dealer on what they are selling labeled wrong, i.e. Red Mountain number 14, one's clearly a Century. I've done a couple videos on it. Handsome Stone, I don't know if you've ever seen the one. Hello, Queen Brown, how are you? Good morning, or good afternoon now. Yeah, I don't know, Handsome Stone, have you ever seen the video I did about the Columbus Hollowware favorite video? That's like the epitome of having to do that. I do it, I see it, and I see it all the time. But yeah, there's a lot of people that think they have something and they don't know what it is. All right. But man, I can't believe that turned around that fast, like from start to finish. I mean, I know there wasn't a lot of stuff to this. It wasn't like I homemade, you know, made the meatballs like from scratch or anything, scratch. But I mean, we made everything pretty much. I mean, it's not like I made the bread, of course, but threw that together, and I mean, that's enough for 2 to 3 people. And we did that in 1 hour and 15 minutes, and that's while I was talking and everything else. So anyway, that's not too bad. Did anybody ever see what happened to CIC? No, I didn't see what happened to CIC. I didn't see any of that. I did not see that at all. But yeah, so, and I still have what? Let me see. Let's go jump over here real quick. I don't even know how much sauce, but I still have all that sauce. And 2 meatballs. 2 humongous meatballs. That's going to be, Ming's coming home tomorrow. She might be having spaghetti and meatballs and she doesn't even know it yet. I think that's what's going to happen. Is Ming's going to have spaghetti and meatballs tomorrow. That's exactly what's going to go on in this kitchen. Because I know after eating all these meatballs, I'm not going to want any more. I'm not going to want it for tomorrow unless I'm absolutely starving to death. But yeah, I can't believe that. I mean, that made a lot of stuff. And that really, and the thing of it is, it cost me like $5 for the pound burger and what, $1.75 for the sauce and a dollar for a couple. I don't know. The bread was kind of pricey, but for bread, it was probably like $3 or $4. But I mean, for $10, for about $10, $11, I mean, you can't really beat that for a sandwich like that and all the stuff that it put together. So, cast iron on a budget, man. Did you end up, Handsome Stone, did you end up buying that piece? Did you get that? At all, did you end up buying that 14? And get that dealer straightened out? I'll wait just a few minutes because we seem to run out of, the comment section's kind of going away. I don't know if that's, everybody's still trying to, it's boggling people's mind, this enormous sandwich, which is just ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous sandwich right there. I don't know. That's something that should be made on a dare. Hey, from Alabama. Brandon Pazibi. Is it Pazibi? Let's see, meatballing on a budget. Yeah. I was just, you know what's funny is last night on TV, that show, the movie Meatballs, like, it was a really, really old Bill Murray movie. But we were kind of like, I had the garage, I had the TV on in the garage and we were watching Meatballs from like, I don't even know how old that movie is. It has to be like 70s, 80s, something like that. Oh, so yeah, I nailed the last name. That's great. Brandon Pazibi. That's cool. What part of, so you're in Alabama, what part of, are you Montgomery, Alabama? We were just talking about cast iron from Alabama a minute ago. Almost he told me I was wrong, debatable. I walked away, ended up getting a 5-quart Magnolite and a hammered oval Magnolite roaster and 2 number 3 unmarked Wagners for less than he would charge. What was he wanting for the 14? $150? $100? That's usually what I see him going at. I just saw one at an antique store. I saw a Century 14 going for $125, and then I saw one at a and then I saw one at an antique store. Yeah, $150. Yeah. Which I think, I don't know. I've seen them go for a lot less. Let's see, I'm on the border of Florida and Alabama. Big fan of cast iron. I don't know much about it. All mine are Lodge. Well, you got good cast iron. Lodge is good cast iron. Hit the subscribe button and the like button. We do this, I try to do this on Thursday nights. And we talk cast iron on Thursday nights and cook at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And then 11 o'clock on Sundays. So, yeah, hit the, just got a Blackstone, though. It's nice. Yeah, you know what's funny, Ren? I just cooked on a Blackstone for the first time 2 weeks ago. Did hamburgers and hot dogs for my daughter's graduation party. And it was fun. It's definitely different. But yeah, Handsome Stone, 150, I've seen them go like right around in there. Like at the auction I saw, you know, yeah. Well, if it was restored, for sure. This place is full of cast iron. Yeah, there's tons of cast iron. There's tons of cast iron folks here. That's for sure. Yeah, we'll swing it around. We'll swing it around here real quick. Just to show you guys what we're dealing with. Put that up there like that. Swing you around. Yeah, there's some of that's my user rack. Cast iron user rack. That's the ones that are already reseasoned and can be used by anybody at any time. If you're ready to, if you're in there, if you're cooking in here, these are all the ones that you can just grab off and make eggs, bacon, or whatever you need to. And then there's other, oh yeah, at least they had them restored. Yeah. A lot of his pieces were wire wheeled or ground. Yeah, I wanted to. Oh, and I wanted to talk about that. I'll let everybody kind of look at the cast iron for a second. But there was something I wanted to talk about real quick because I was looking at somebody had put up some stuff that was restored on another channel, and if you see a lot of white, like a white scale to cast iron, don't it that stuff needs to be lead tested. Now this guy was I'm not gonna say a name. I'm not gonna get into who it was because it doesn't matter. But when you show a before picture and it's covered in white scale, a lot of times that's lead. And I'm telling you what, one thing that I always recommend that I tell people to do every time they find cast iron, and unless you got it from your mom or your cousin or somebody like that, that you knew where it came from, or directly from the store, lead test that stuff, because you do not know how hard that stuff partied before it got to you. It is so important that you lead test everything, especially when you get into like roll pans, biscuit pans, gem pans, popover pans, things like that. Definitely get that stuff lead tested. Get it lead tested, and lead tests are easy to do. They're cheap. You can get them anywhere. The 3M ones, I haven't seen the 3M ones lately, but if you can get a 3M one, it's really super easy to get. But lead test your cast iron if you don't know where it came from. Used so much, it was glass smooth. Also love my cast iron Dutch oven. Yeah. See, that's what I thought, Handsome Stone. I didn't think they had the 3Ms or anymore. And I'm trying to think where my lead tests are on there somewhere. I'm not going to get in the shot and start moving stuff around to see it, but see the ones, and I'm not sure if they're even up there, but I use ones. You just have to, once you use them, you get a lot of times the companies that sell the lead tests, they have videos on YouTube. Then it's pretty easy to use. They're not much. I think I got like 50 lead tests for $10, $10. But it's just lead test your stuff. And that guy had no intention of, I don't know if he lead tests his stuff. I don't know if he does or not. But you don't know if people lead test stuff. So always lead test what you can. If you've got something that's unrestored, just get a little scratch pad. Just get a little scratch pad spot off on it and lead test that spot. I've had one that got a couple that I've had for a while. I had an Indian head a few years back that I bought. I luckily got it for cheap, and I sold it as a wall hanger. And I told the guy that I sold it to, the reason it was cheap is because it had tested positive for lead. It wasn't something you could cook with. So those things are out there, and they can be the nice pieces. And I will tell you this, growing up in a rural area, I don't know how many times I didn't realize they were chicken fryers and Dutch ovens when I was a kid, but I can tell you I've seen a lot of people. I've seen a couple Dutch ovens and old pieces of cookware that guys were draining oil into when they were changing oil or putting under something because it was leaking. So I'm just giving you guys all a heads up. Be smart when you collect, because leads, you do not want to, and that's the thing too. I didn't want it in my collection. The reason I sell stuff as lead tested positive, lead tested positive pieces. I sell them as wall hangers because when I'm not going to be around forever, and I don't want my kids to inherit a piece that's tested positive for lead that I didn't mark or whatever, and they end up using it, or their kids end up using it, or their kids' kids end up using it. And I just don't want it to be in the family, so I get rid of it, and I let people know that it tests positive for lead. So that's just how I do it. That's my soapbox. That's my Sunday afternoon soapbox, and I'm going to jump off of it. Let's see. Pat Z says, I saw on my local Facebook marketplace a person that was selling lead ingots that have obviously been formed in corn stick pans. Yeah, corn stick pan. Thanks for bringing that up, Pat. Corn stick pans. There's another one. Everybody thinks they're corn sticks. They're just going to clean it up and start getting that. Lead test them things. Lead test them things. Because I'm sure somewhere some people that, you know, that are into catfishing and things like that, who doesn't want to have the coolest lead weights at the catfishing hole? You know what I mean? That look like cornbread or corn cobs. I mean, I'm telling you, they're out there. But anyway, people are starting to jump off here. I'm gonna start to jump off here. I got to power wash my house at some point, and take this dog, check on my dog, because the dog's not feeling too hot. But anyway, I'm gonna jump off here. I will see you guys. Keep your notifications on. It is the holiday week. My next scheduled show is for July 3rd. So I'm planning to do a show, but you never know what could happen during a holiday weekend. You never know. And for the folks out there, if you're still hanging on with me, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I really appreciate that. We're trying to get to that. We're trying to get to that magic, the big 500. And then I will shut up about my selling my cast iron seasoning on there. But anyway, I'm gonna jump off here, eat my sub, put the rest of it away, clean my kitchen, and power wash my house. And I'll see you guys later, and I will definitely see you in the comment section. All right, see ya.